guys, today's video is a pretty hyped up palette that has had a lot of positive and negative feedback, and I'm sure you've probably seen it everywhere, and it is the Huda Beauty, whatever, Textured Shadows Rose Gold Palette. This is what it looks like. So I think I got this a couple weeks ago probably. So I've had a little bit of time to mess around with it, and I'm here to give my thoughts. Sorry, I didn't mean to say I'm sorry, I coughed. Anyway, this is what it looks like out of the packaging. It comes with a plastic packaging over the top. I do like this because you can see all of the colors when you're searching. I did it again. When you're searching through to find what colors you want to look for, and the colors are gorgeous. I think that warm tones are very in right now, and you know, this definitely goes along with it. So inside this is going to be 3 ready to layer textures: deep matte, 3D metal, and pressed pearls. So it has 6 textured shadows, and then 2 pearls, and then 10 mattes in here. So that is a lot of shadows, and I believe the palette is like $65, so that is a pretty steep price point. And I'm just gonna get into swatching these really quickly for you so that you can see how they perform, and at the end I will give my final thoughts. Okay, so here swatched is the first color, which is Dubai, which is right here. That is with this finger swatch, and that is with a brush. And the brush I'm using is just a regular shader brush from Royal and Langnickel. And I just picked a random brush because I know not everybody has all kinds of brushes, so this is what it looks like with a brush. So obviously this is going to show up a lot better if you apply it with your finger. I do know, you know, I am somebody that has nails, and it is a little bit difficult if you have nails, but it's workable. So, you know, I've heard a lot of hype about these not showing up at all with brushes, which is true, but it does say it works best when applied with your fingers. So let's get into the next swatch. Okay, so the next color that I'm swatching, I'm going down the rose and over, and this color is going to be #blessed. And this is what it looks like with the finger swatch. And then this is what it looks like with the brush swatch. Again, same thing. This is a textured shadow, so it is gonna apply better with your fingers. Then up next we have Black Truffle. This is what it looks like applied with the finger, and this is what it looks like applied with the brush. Okay, the next color we're gonna have is right here. This is Fling, another textured shadow. This is what it looks like with the finger, and this is what it looks like with the brush. This, I would say, is one of the more pigmented textured shadows when it comes to the brush swatch. But I'm gonna wipe my arm off and we're gonna start again. Okay, so the next shade that we're gonna have is Bossy. It's this color right here. This is what it looks like with the finger, and this is what it looks like with the brush. So not a whole lot of difference between the two. Up next, we are going to have the color Suede right here. This is what it looks like with the finger, and this is what it looks like with the brush. I will say that Suede is one that I have had a lot of trouble with. It gets very patchy, it's very hard to blend, and I don't know that I'll be using it again because I've tried a couple times with it and it just doesn't want to work. No matter what brush I use, no matter if I use primer or not, it just doesn't want to blend. So that is one shade that I'm not in love with. But let's go on to the next shade. Okay, the next shade is one of my favorites. This is going to be this one right here, which is 24 karat. This is what it looks like with the finger swatch, and this is what it looks like with the brush swatch. It is another one that is more pigmented when you use your finger, but it also has a decent amount of pigmentation on the brush as well. So, you know, you probably could use either or with this particular shade, but I still would use your finger, in my opinion. Then we have Flamingo, which is right here. This is with the finger swatch, and this is with the brush swatch. And they look about the same, honestly, opacity-wise, but I'm not a huge fan of Flamingo. I feel like Flamingo is another one that has a little bit of a hard time blending, and it's also very chalky. So you pretty much this whole palette, you want to make sure that you do your eyes and you use tape or shadow shields to catch any fallout. That's what I was looking for. To catch any fallout. Because all of these shadows are pretty powdery and will get all over your face if you're not careful. But yeah. Okay, this I keep wanting to start with my finger, my hand, my arm. This next palette is color is Cocoa. This is what it looks like. Oh boy, I'm gonna fall. I mean, my camera's gonna fall actually. It's on a tripod. Okay, this is what it looks like with the finger swatch, and this is what it looks like with the brush swatch. And I do like Cocoa. I feel like Cocoa is easier to blend and easier to work with, and it's actually a very pretty, deep, rusty brown color, and I really like the shade. This next shade is Rose Gold, right here. And this is what it looks like with the finger swatch, and it is pretty much non-existent with a brush. So you can't even really use this color with a brush. It's only to be used with your fingers. So just keep that in mind. This will not show up with a brush, like at all. Okay, the next shade is the color Shy, which is right here. This is what it looks like with a finger swatch, and this is what it looks like with a brush swatch. So they are pretty close. Most of her mattes, you will get a decent amount of color payoff when you use a brush. It's just the textured shadows that I find you can't really get much color payoff with most of them. With a couple of them, like you saw, you can. But let's get to the next color. Okay, this next color, I do have a little bit of a warning for you, I guess. This is Maneater. This is what it looks like. Gorgeous, gorgeous burgundy red. But look what it does. It's gonna stain your finger and your lid. So it's pretty hard to get off. Even with makeup remover wipes, I mean, if you don't really care about that, it's not a big deal because, you know, it comes off eventually. But it does stain. Look at this. This is what it looks like with the finger swatch, and this is the brush swatch. And I don't really have any gripes about it except that it stains, because that's even with taking a makeup remover wipe. It doesn't want to come off. Okay, so we only have 6 shades left. And the next shade is Trust Fund, which is right here. So here is Trust Fund swatched with my finger, and then with the brush you can see it barely shows up because it is another one of those textured shadows. So again, it'll be used it'll turn out better with your finger. The next shade is gonna be Bay, which looks like this. And this is it with my finger and with a brush. You can barely see it. It's just kind of a basic cream color, but I do find it to be very, very powdery, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So just keep that in mind. So the next color is Henna. It looks like this right here. This like burnt orangey, burnt sienna type color. Here it is, swatched with my finger, and there with the brush. I do really like this color. Oh, I think it's very pretty, and I don't really have much else like it. And I do think that it's blendable and easy to work with. So on to the next. Okay, this next shade is going to be Angelic, which is right here. This is one of the pressed pearl shades, and this is what it looks like with the finger and with the brush. This shade is beautiful. I love this shade. I think it applies beautifully with a brush and with your fingers. And I actually prefer to use a brush with this shade. But I really like the formula of this. I love the pressed pearls in this palette. Okay, this next shade is Moon Dust. This is another pressed pearl. It's right here. This is what it looks like with the finger swatch, and this, if you can even see that, is what it looks like with the brush. And honestly, this swatch is not doing it justice. I have it on my eyes right now, and I really, really like this shade if I just want to go with like a neutral look. And I also really like it to highlight the brow bone. So I do really like this shade as well. And we are finally on our last shade. So the last shade is going to be Sandalwood right here. And this is what it looks like with my finger, and that is what it looks like with the brush. And I think that Sandalwood is beautiful. I think that it blends beautifully, and I don't know. I'm overall a big fan of the shadows because there are only a few in here that I don't like. So I feel like for the price point, it is a good deal because you're getting a lot of really good quality shadows. And there are a couple duds, but there normally are with any eyeshadow palette. So yeah, overall I would say it's a good palette, and you just have to keep in mind that some of the shadows are going to apply much better with your finger. Because if you keep that in mind, you will love the palette. That's how I feel, at least. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to comment down below if you also enjoy the palette or whatever your experience is with the palette. And also wanted to add that I am having a giveaway for, almost dropped it, the KKW by Kylie Cosmetics. I am giving one of these away once I hit 100 subscribers. Right now I think I need 40 more to go. And all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, comment on my last video, the KKW by Kylie Cosmetics review, comment your Instagram in that video, and be following me on Instagram, and you will automatically be entered into the giveaway once I reach 100 subscribers, which I've gotten like 30 subscribers in the last couple of days, so it's gonna happen fast, and I'm gonna have to choose a winner fast. So just follow those instructions, go to my latest video. If you have any questions on this collection and you want to see a review on it as well. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.